Welcome back to the channel JF Coin, another amazing video all about rare and valuable coins from the United States of America. Today we are diving deep into the fascinating story of the 1960 D Lincoln cent, also known as one of the most intriguing and talked about pennies in American coin history. You may look at this small copper coin and think it is just another penny, but what if I told you that some of these coins are worth hundreds of dollars and in some rare cases much more? The 1960 D penny has a history filled with minting varieties, collector demand, and surprises that can make even a simple penny from your pocket worth a fortune. The Lincoln cent itself is an icon of American coinage. It was first introduced in 1909 to honor the 100th birthday of President Abraham Lincoln. The design was created by Victor David Brenner, and it became the very first coin in the United States to feature a real historical person instead of a symbolic figure. Since then, the Lincoln penny has become a staple in American wallets, change jars, and coin collections. But as time passed, some special years of production became famous because of unique errors or varieties. One of those legendary years is 1960, specifically the Denver Mint issue, the 1960 D Lincoln cent. Now let's take a look at what makes the 1960 D penny so special. In that year, the United States Mint actually produced two different versions of the Lincoln cent. One was the small date version, and the other was the large date version. Collectors quickly noticed this difference in the size and shape of the numbers on the date. The small date has a thinner number style, while the large date has thicker and bolder numerals. Both versions were struck in Philadelphia and Denver, but it was the Denver Mint coins that gained the most attention. The small date 1960 D penny is the real treasure. While the large date pennies are common and easy to find, the small date versions are much scarcer and in high demand. On top of that, some errors and varieties appeared in the minting process. This includes doubled dies, repunched mint marks, and unusual striking varieties that made collectors even more eager to search their change for these special pennies. Imagine the excitement of pulling a rare variety out of circulation that might be worth hundreds of dollars today. When it comes to the value of the 1960 D Lincoln cent, condition plays a huge role. A circulated coin that has been used in everyday transactions might only be worth a small premium, but an uncirculated coin with brilliant luster can reach astonishing prices. Some small date 1960 D pennies in high mint state grades have sold for well over $400. In fact, the market value for a stunning gem quality example has been recorded at around $442, which is incredible considering it is just a 1-cent piece originally made of copper alloy. Collectors love this coin because it tells a story of change and transition in United States coinage history. In 1960, the mint was working to keep up with high demand for coins, and errors were more likely to slip through. That is why doubled dies and repunched mint marks exist for this year. Each unique error creates another opportunity for a collector to own something truly rare. For example, a 1960 D small date doubled die obverse penny with strong doubling on the date, and lettering can bring big money at auction. Some of these rarities have shocked the market with prices far beyond expectations. Another interesting fact about the 1960 Lincoln cents is that the small date and large date varieties gave birth to a wave of excitement among coin roll hunters. Even today, collectors still open rolls of pennies searching for the elusive small date varieties. The Denver Mint issue remains the most famous of them all, and it is one of the coins that keeps the hobby of coin collecting alive and thrilling for beginners and experts alike. If you are wondering how you can tell the difference between a small date and large date 1960 D penny, here is a simple tip. Look closely at the number 9 and the number 6 in the date. On the small date version, the 9 has a delicate thin loop and the top of the 6 is level with the top of the 9. On the large date version, the 9 looks thicker and the 6 rises higher. With a magnifying glass you can easily spot the difference. That small detail could be the difference between a coin worth just a few cents and a coin worth hundreds of dollars. Now let's talk about the current market and why this coin is still worth attention. Collectors are constantly looking for higher grade examples certified by professional grading companies. A coin graded mint state 65 or higher with full red color is the jackpot, because the luster and eye appeal make it extremely desirable. These coins often bring in auction prices that surprise everyone. Right now, the market value of $442 for a gem small date 1960 penny shows just how much demand there is for this variety. With time, the price could rise even higher as fewer pristine examples remain available. This penny is a reminder to always check your change carefully. It shows that even the smallest coin in American currency can carry hidden treasures. The story of the 1960 penny also highlights how small details in coin design can become big discoveries in the world of numismatics. That is what makes this hobby so exciting. You never know when you might find a rare variety sitting in an old jar of coins or hidden away in a collection passed down through your family. So the next time you come across a 1960 penny, do not ignore it. Take a closer look. If it has the Denver mint mark under the date, pay special attention to whether it is a small date variety. Who knows, you could be holding a coin worth over $400. And if you are lucky enough to discover a rare era variety like a doubled die or repunched mint mark, then you could be sitting on an even bigger treasure. The 1960 Lincoln cent is more than just a piece of copper. It is a piece of American history, a collectible treasure, and proof that value is not always measured by size. From the artistry of Victor David Brenner's design to the minting quirks of 1960, this penny continues to capture the imagination of collectors around the world. So keep searching, keep learning, and keep collecting. Because in the world of coins, history and value often meet in the palm of your hand. And that is what makes the story of the 1960 Ultra Lincoln penny so fascinating and so valuable today. Would you like me to make this script even longer with more storytelling sections like including Abraham Lincoln's background, Denver Mint history, and auction highlights of 1960 sales? That way it could run for 15+ minutes as a full-length YouTube video. Today we are diving into one of the most fascinating coins in American history, a coin that many of us might have passed by without realizing its hidden worth. Yes, we are talking about the 1-cent Lincoln penny from the year 1959 with the Denver mint mark, also known as the 1959 penny. Believe it or not, this little piece of copper has a story so rich that it continues to excite collectors all over the world, and in today's market it can be valued at hundreds of dollars, with rare conditions going even higher. In fact, the market value of certain special examples has reached around $442. And in some cases even more depending on rarity and condition. So sit tight, because by the end of this video you are going to know why this penny is so special, how to identify it, what makes it rare, and why it might just be hiding in your coin jar right now. Let's begin by going back to history. The year was 1959, a very special moment in the history of American coinage. Up until that year, the reverse of the Lincoln cent featured 2 wheat stalks circling the words 1 cent and United States of America. These were called wheat pennies, and they had been minted since 1909 when Abraham Lincoln first appeared on the obverse of the penny. But in 1959, everything changed. To mark the 150th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth, the United States Mint decided to redesign the reverse side of the penny. Out went the wheat ears, and in came the new design featuring the Lincoln Memorial in Washington, D.C. This was a huge change, because for the very first time in American history, both the obverse and reverse of a coin featured a United States president. On the front we still had Abraham Lincoln's profile, and on the back we now had the Lincoln Memorial where his statue is located. The 1959 penny holds extra importance because it was the very first year of this design, the very first Lincoln Memorial cent ever struck. That alone makes it historically significant, but the Denver Mint coins have added appeal for collectors. Denver marked its coins with a small letter D under the date, and during that year millions were produced. However, what makes this coin fascinating is that not all pennies are created equal. While billions were minted, some came out with unique varieties, striking errors, and conditions so pristine that collectors are willing to pay huge sums of money to own them. So what exactly makes a 1959 Lincoln penny worth hundreds of dollars instead of just 1 cent? It all comes down to condition, rarity, and errors. First, let's talk about condition. Coins are graded on a scale that ranges from poor to mint state, with mint state coins being flawless, showing no signs of wear, and often shining as if they just came off the minting press. A 1959 penny in circulated condition might only be worth a few cents, maybe a little more if it has some eye appeal. But in uncirculated condition, with sharp details and original luster, values skyrocket. Collectors pay top dollar for coins graded MS65 and above, with some rare examples pushing well into the hundreds of dollars. Next, let's talk about varieties and errors. Error coins are some of the most exciting finds in the hobby because they were mistakes that slipped past the mint and ended up in circulation. Some 1959 pennies show double dies, where the design looks like it has been struck twice, creating a doubled image. Others might have off-center strikes, clipped planchets, or other unusual minting defects that make them one of a kind. These errors are like fingerprints, no two are exactly alike, and that uniqueness is what collectors crave. Certain error examples from 1959 have been auctioned for large amounts, with prices reaching into the hundreds and even thousands of dollars depending on how dramatic the errors point. One of the most famous stories connected to the 1959 penny is the controversy around a supposed 1959 wheat penny, which was said to be struck with the older wheat design even though the mint had already changed to the Lincoln Memorial reverse. This coin created massive debates in the numismatic community, with some experts claiming it was real and others saying it was a fake. Regardless, the story itself adds to the mystery and allure of 1959 pennies. Now let's bring it back to the market today. As of right now, collectors are paying serious money for well-preserved 1959 pennies. A standard uncirculated example can fetch anywhere from $5 to $25, depending on grade, but ultra-high mint state examples graded MS66, MS67, or higher have sold for hundreds of dollars. The record prices for these coins can easily push past $400, and right now the average market value for a strong specimen is around $442. That is an incredible return for a coin that originally cost only 1 cent. So what should you do if you find a 1959 penny in your pocket change or coin jar? First, handle it carefully. Do not clean it, do not scratch it, and try to avoid touching the surfaces too much. Cleaning a coin can actually destroy its collector value. Instead, take a close look at the coin. Check for sharp details, mint luster, and any signs of doubling or errors. If you think you have something special, consider getting it graded by a professional service like PCGS or NGC. A professional grade can authenticate the coin and drastically increase its market value. It is also worth noting that the 1959 penny is a perfect example of how history and value are intertwined in the world of coin collecting. It marks the transition from the beloved wheat penny to the modern memorial cent. It represents an important moment in United States history, and it continues to capture the imagination of collectors everywhere. So, the next time you see a 1959 penny, remember you might not just be holding a piece of change, you might be holding a piece of history worth hundreds of dollars. Keep your eyes open, because treasure often hides in the smallest and simplest places. Thank you for joining me today as we uncovered the story of the 1959 Lincoln penny, a coin that proves even the tiniest piece of copper can carry immense value. If you enjoyed this deep dive into coin history and value, make sure to subscribe, hit the like button, and share this video with other collectors or anyone who loves discovering hidden treasures. And let me know in the comments if you have ever found a 1959 penny in your collection, and what condition it was in. Who knows, you might be sitting on a small fortune without even realizing it. Stay tuned for more videos on rare coins, valuable cents, and incredible stories from the world of numismatics. Until next time, keep hunting, keep collecting, and remember, every coin has a story waiting to be told. Do you want me to make a second, even longer version of this script where I expand with more storytelling about collectors, auction records, and comparison to other rare pennies so you'll have maximum watch time for your video?